Welcome, dear viewers, to a day in the life of Thomas the Merchant. Join me as we peek behind the curtain and explore the intricate dance of medieval trade through the eyes of Thomas. The pre-dawn hush clings to the air as Thomas emerges from his cramped quarters above the shop. A shiver runs down his spine despite the heavy cloak draped over his nightshirt. A lantern, its flame, a comforting beacon in the darkness, illuminates his stall. Here, within the organized chaos of neatly stacked bolts of fabric and meticulously polished pewter, lies Thomas's world. Each item whispers tales of faraway lands, the pungent aroma of cinnamon sticks hinting at the spice roots of the East, the intricate patterns on the silk scarves echoing the artistry of distant artisans. Thomas, with a practiced eye, examines every piece, ensuring its quality befits his discerning clientele. The first rays of dawn paint the sky a fiery orange as the marketplace awakens. A cacophony of sounds replaces the pre-dawn silence. Shouts of hawkers advertising their wares, the rhythmic clanging of the blacksmith's hammer, the excited chatter of early shoppers. Thomas throws open the shutters of his stall, the rising sun glinting off the polished silver goblets on display. The heart of the marketplace thrums with life. It's here that Thomas truly comes alive. A twinkle ignites in his eye as he spots Lady Alara, a local noblewoman, approaching his stall. Her handmaiden trails behind, carrying a heavy purse that speaks volumes of Lady Alara's shopping intentions. "Good morning, Lady Alara." Thomas greets her with a flourish, a hint of a smile playing on his lips. "The morning light flatters your exquisite taste today." Lady Alara, known for her keen eye for fashion, returns the smile. "Good morning, Thomas. I trust your travels have brought forth some treasures worthy of adorning a lady's wardrobe?" The dance of negotiation begins. Thomas unveils a breathtaking tapestry woven with threads of gold, depicting a mythical hunt. He spins a tale of its origin, a story that transports Lady Alara to a land of brave knights and fantastical creatures. Her eyes gleam with desire, but she counters with a feigned disinterest. Back and forth they go, a witty game of price and value, respect and understanding. Finally, a deal is struck. Lady Alara leaves with the tapestry, a satisfied smile gracing her lips. For Thomas, it's not just about the sale. It's the thrill of the chase, the satisfaction of matching the perfect item with the perfect buyer. His reputation as a fair and knowledgeable merchant precedes him, attracting a loyal clientele. As midday approaches, the sun climbs higher, casting a warm glow on the bustling marketplace. The aroma of roasting chestnuts and sizzling sausages fills the air, tempting the senses. Thomas retreats to his cozy back room, a haven from the bustling crowd. Here, amongst sacks of spices and crates of dried fruit, he shares a frugal meal with his apprentice, young Peter. Peter, with his wide-eyed enthusiasm, soaks in Thomas's stories of exotic lands and perilous journeys. The midday lull is a precious time for Thomas. He meticulously records transactions in his weathered ledger, the worn pages filled with his elegant script. It's a testament to his life's work, a chronicle of successes and challenges. Each meticulously recorded sale is a victory, a reminder of his resilience in the face of fluctuating markets and fierce competition. With renewed energy, Thomas reemerges into the afternoon throng. The marketplace takes on a different character as the day wears on. Farmers hawk their fresh produce, weary travelers seek a warm meal at the tavern, and children dart through the legs of shoppers, their laughter echoing through the air. As the sun begins its descent, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, a sense of anticipation hangs in the air. This is the time for bargain hunters, those who seek a good deal before the day's end. Thomas skillfully navigates the changing crowd, offering discounts and deals to clear out his remaining stock. The last rays of sunlight fade, casting long shadows across the marketplace. One by one, the stalls are shuttered, the noise subsiding to a peaceful murmur. Thomas, with a weary but satisfied smile, carefully packs away his unsold wares. He pauses to admire the bustling marketplace one last time, the scene etched into his memory. This is his world, a world of vibrant colors, lively haggling, and the constant thrill of the unknown. As Thomas retires to his quarters for the night, his mind races with possibilities for tomorrow. Perhaps a new shipment will arrive, carrying exotic spices from the east, or handcrafted jewelry from a distant land. Maybe a wealthy merchant from a neighboring town will visit, seeking a specific item Thomas has procured on a recent voyage. The world of commerce is an ever-changing tapestry. A day in the life of Elizabeth the Serf, the video opens on a small, dimly lit hut. Inside, Elizabeth, a young serf woman with eyes that hold a quiet strength, stirs from a restless sleep. The rooster's crow pierces the pre-dawn silence, a harsh reminder of the day's relentless demands. Unlike the nobility who reveled in the luxury of late mornings, Elizabeth's day began much earlier, before the world even fully awakened. With practiced efficiency, Elizabeth rises from her straw pallet, the cold earth sending a shiver through her thin clothes. A shared bucket of well water, drawn the night before, serves as her morning ablutions. The sting of the cold cleanses not just her face, but also the sleep from her weary eyes. There's no time for a fire to warm the meager room. Every minute wasted was a minute stolen from the already precious daylight. A simple breakfast of stale bread and watery porridge, shared with her younger brother, Thomas, fills her stomach but does little to quell the gnawing hunger that was a constant companion. Despite the meager fare, a small smile graces Elizabeth's lips as she watches Thomas savor his portion. His innocent joy was a beacon of warmth in their otherwise harsh reality. Leaving the tiny hut behind, Elizabeth steps out into the crisp morning air. The village stirred slowly, with wisps of smoke rising from chimneys as other serfs prepared for the day's labor. Joining a small group heading towards the fields, she exchanged greetings, their faces etched with a shared weariness. The walk to the fields was a silent one, a stark contrast to the joyous songs of the birds flitting through the hedgerows. The vast expanse of the Lord's land stretched before them, a constant reminder of their dependence and their limited control over their lives. Reaching the fields, they were met by the overseer, a gruff man whose booming voice shattered the morning's tranquility. Tasks were assigned, tools distributed, shovels, scythes, and heavy wooden plows, instruments not of creation but of duty and survival. The sun climbed higher, baking the earth and turning the air thick with humidity. Sweat streamed down Elizabeth's face, soaking her clothes, but she toiled on, her movement synchronized with the rhythm of the collective labor. Each swing of the scythe, each clod of earth turned, was a testament to her unwavering spirit. The midday sun hung high in the sky, a merciless orb casting no shade. A meager lunch of barley soup, ladled into chipped bowls, offered a moment of respite. But even during this brief break, the conversation amongst the serfs revolved around the work, the weather, and the ever-present worry of meeting the harvest quotas. As the afternoon wore on, fatigue gnawed at Elizabeth's limbs. Her back ached, her hands were blistered, and a persistent cough racked her body. Yet, she pushed on, fueled by a deep-seated pride in her work and a desperate hope for a better future. The setting sun painted the sky in hues of orange and red, a bittersweet sight. As they finally limped back to their village, Elizabeth noticed a young girl struggling with a heavy load of firewood. Without hesitation, Elizabeth stepped forward, taking a portion of the burden onto her own already weary shoulders. A simple act of kindness, a small spark of humanity amidst the harsh reality of their lives. Arriving back at her hut, exhaustion washed over Elizabeth like a tidal wave. Yet, there was a quiet satisfaction in her heart. She had fulfilled her duty, contributed to the well-being of her family, and perhaps even offered a small bit of solace to a fellow villager. By the flickering candlelight, Elizabeth mended torn clothes and prepared the meager meal for the next day. The flickering light illuminated not just the tiny room, but also the resilience and strength etched on her face. While the future remained uncertain, Elizabeth knew she would face it with the same unwavering determination and quiet dignity that had become her hallmark. As the night deepened and the village settled into a peaceful slumber, Elizabeth knew that her story was not unique. It was a story shared by countless serfs across the land, a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure through hardship. But within this shared struggle, there were also moments of quiet joy, acts of kindness, and a flicker of hope for a better tomorrow. And in these moments, Elizabeth found the strength to rise each day and face the challenges that lay ahead. The video opens on a cramped, dimly lit room. A sliver of dawn light cuts through a barred window, illuminating a lone figure, William, a young slave man. The weight of his chains, a constant reminder of his captivity, stirs him from a restless sleep. Each groan, as he rises, is a testament to the physical and emotional toll exacted by his forced existence. A basin of murky water serves as his meager morning ablutions. As he splashes the water on his face, a flicker of defiance ignites in his eyes. It's a fleeting moment, quickly subdued by the harsh reality that surrounds him. He washes not just the grime of sleep, but also the ever-present fear that hangs heavy in the air. The first rays of sunlight paint the sky a cruel orange as the rhythmic clang of a bell shatters the silence. It's the overseer's call, a herald of another day of endless labor. William joins a shuffling line of fellow slaves, each face etched with a mixture of exhaustion and simmering anger. The tattered clothes they wear are a stark contrast to the crisp linens of their masters. Their journey takes them past the Grand Manor House, a symbol of the opulent lives funded by their forced labor. William catches a glimpse of Master Thomas through a window, enjoying a breakfast of steaming porridge and fresh fruit, a stark contrast to the meager gruel that awaits them. Reaching the fields, they are met by the booming voice of the overseer, his whip a constant threat. Tasks are assigned with callous indifference, backbreaking work under the relentless sun, tending to the master's livestock with minimal rest and endless repairs to keep the grand estate running. Each movement is a struggle against fatigue and despair. William's muscles strain under the weight of heavy tools, his calloused hands leaving bloody trails as he grasps at rough surfaces. The heat beats down mercilessly, turning the air thick and heavy, making breathing itself a chore. Lunchtime offers a brief respite, but little in the way of sustenance. A bowl of watery soup, barely warm, and a hunk of stale bread are doled out with begrudging efficiency. Hunger gnaws at his belly, a constant companion. Yet, even in the face of deprivation, William shares a sliver of his meager ration with a younger slave, a gesture of solidarity in their shared suffering. Throughout the day, William finds solace in stolen moments of connection with his fellow slaves. A quick, knowing glance, a whispered word of encouragement. These small acts of defiance spark a flicker of hope. They share stories, passed down through generations, of a time before slavery, a time of freedom and dignity. These stories fuel a fire within him, a flicker of rebellion that refuses to be extinguished. As the day progresses, William witnesses the brutality inflicted upon those who dare to defy the overseer. The sight of a fellow slave whipped to the point of collapse serves as a grim reminder of the consequences of disobedience, but it also fuels a growing hatred for his captors and a burning desire for retribution. As the sun dips below the horizon, casting long shadows across the fields, the back-breaking labor finally comes to an end. William stumbles back to his cramped quarters, his body aching and his spirit weary. Exhaustion washes over him like a wave, but sleep is a distant dream. The weight of his chains, both physical and emotional, presses down upon him. Yet, amidst the despair, a spark of defiance remains. In the quiet darkness of his room, William replays the stories of rebellion he's heard, whispers of slaves who have risen up against their masters. He dreams of a future where the chains that bind him are shattered, a future where freedom is not a distant memory, but a tangible reality. This dream, fragile yet persistent, fuels his will to survive. As William closes his eyes, he vows to see another sunrise, to endure another day of hardship, and to keep the embers of rebellion alive. He knows his fight for freedom may be long and arduous, but he also knows that even the smallest spark can ignite a fire that can consume empires.